Welcome back, everyone. This market just has not given up on where it wants to go, and it still is telling us it wants to point up. Let's take a quick look at how our technical toolkit shaped up into the end of this week. I'm going to give you a view of the S&P E-minis, and we're going to focus in on the Champion Trend Pack Toolkit, technical tools that come with your Ultimate Wealth Charts membership. And what you can see over here is when we made that move up through the month of May, we had a sequence of signals: Champion Trend, Champion Cross, Wealth Signal, Breakout Forecasters. And after the last Breakout Forecaster, we did have 3 days of absence. And really on the fourth day, we saw the fast speed line cross below the slow. Sometimes that can happen even sooner. That sequence of signals ended. Typically what happens after that is we pull back to the last or the second last breakout forecaster and form a range and get ready to go. Now, in this case, we had a pretty violent move down, as you can see, and pretty much came right back to where the move really started. Now, that in and of itself does add a little bit of kinetic energy, and we did effectively resume the sequence of signals by seeing the Champion Cross turn back on and the zone actually widening. We did get some marketplace indicators like the ITP and TRP indications, the Triple S indications. And in order to tell us that we're moving from stage 1 to 2, looking for more, well, we need a wealth signal or a range breaker. A wealth signal would be that orange ball. A range breaker would be that dark blue ball there. And we did get that several sessions ago. Now, I've seen price really expand much further. We are, of course, against all-time highs. We've heard from the Fed. Market hasn't given up, but we have not also seen a whole bunch more come in. Now, we are headed into options expiry. We're headed into the end of the quarter over the next couple of weeks. This is a very important week to come off of with clarity on, is the Fed ready to act? Well, they have been. Is the Fed also interested in a crisis so they can do more when they act? We've seen that historically. Is the Fed and the data compliant to tell us rate cuts should be imminent? The answer to that question is a no. And that's what we heard from Powell. Not quite the end, of course, the team around. What I can say right now is if you take a look at the daily chart and add the subchart, we know that we're in stage 2 of this resumption of sequence. We haven't seen any breakout forecasters yet, but the signal state is positive. Triple S above the center. These are marketplace indicators. Rob's ITP triggers. The TRP momentum crossover is in a positive state. And we are seeing the Spike 2.0 tool in a positive state as well. But if we take that daily chart down to a 4-hour, which is what you see on screen here, you can see that, yes, the signals are positive. In fact, they do support us trying to continue to rise to the top of this box that I was drawing in for members of the Active Trader Room earlier this morning when we were diagnosing this market. However, underneath the hood, even though we're starting to put some bullish fuel back to work, we are still seeing that negative momentum remain in play from the TRP crossover lines, from the ITP triggers, and from the Triple S indicator, which remains below the center of its channel. So what the market's telling us is you can expect a harder go higher into complete no man's land. And if we are able to break out above the highs, there are targets above that we can look towards. 54.78, target 1, 55.19. And most often, the midline is what's met, 54.99. So that would be an interesting area to kind of earmark, of course, as we see price action roll into next week, which is going to be another very important week in markets, driven by all of the considerations for rotations happening into the end of the quarter, and now whether or not growth is going to be good again. And to that end, we're going to be hearing from Stacy Brovitz again tomorrow, our resident options guru. His presentation was so loved on Wednesday. He's coming back again tomorrow, Saturday, June the 15th, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, to do a whole bunch more knowledge building with you, knowledge transfer with you, showing you how he puts technicals and his option strategies together to do what? Spot options trades most traders will never see. Simply go to becomebettertrader.com/yes. And that again is tomorrow, Saturday, June the 15th. Have an incredible rest of your day. Have an amazing weekend. See you at Stacey's show tomorrow. Have a wonderful, peaceful, happy rest of your day. And thank you for watching. Bye for now.